It's your boy Mike. Welcome back to another Gekishin Squadra video. We are here with Monato's Flash, and we're going to be talking about the fact that they're not going to be doing any balance changes for 2 weeks, and we haven't gotten a balance change at all for since the 19th of last month.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say that when they told us this, that we weren't going to be getting anything for the first 2 weeks, I thought for sure they were at least going to give us one last balance change right before the month. And then I was sitting there for the entire day waiting, and then we got nothing.
I mean, sometimes they don't even drop the patch notes until the patch is actually in game. Last time they dropped the patch notes 24 hours after, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, it's just very unfortunate because, again, especially with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta releasing, I feel like a lot of things just changed with him in general. But of course, the intended changes that came out with the new patch, I think there's also some unintended changes probably with the meta and things like that, like how kind of, I wouldn't say underpowered, but like how less valuable Super Saiyan 3 Goku is, I think, in this kind of meta right now. So I think that there should still be some like kind of quick kind of fixes or changes, especially with some of the technical issues and bugs that are going on right now, that I kind of just want to talk about today as well.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. I'll say that the main issue for me personally is not only just the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, for example, but also just the fact that this is going to be the first period of time where nothing happens at all. Like, we are going to have Gohan drop, and nothing. The meta that we have been in for 2 weeks already is the meta we're going to have for 2 more weeks now, because of the fact that the developer letter has told us, like, yeah, no, we're not getting anything like that because of the Squadra tournament, and the fact that the Squadra tournament is not going to happen until the 13th, or the final tournament is happening on the 13th, that like we just won't have anything because of that. And I get it. I've said it in the video before too. I said it during the, like, when they came out with the stuff, but I don't mind them having it where it's like that. For the tournament participants, it would be like a really sad thing if, like, you were playing Piccolo the entire time and you were training for Piccolo, and then right before the tournament, the day for the tournament, they're like, by the way, we just nerfed Piccolo, he's the worst character of all time now. Like, I get it. They shouldn't make changes like that when they do these tournaments. Granted, I also believe that, like, they probably should have condensed when they did these tournaments as well, having it where it's the first one is on the 6th, the second one's on the 7th, and then the third one is on the 13th.
Well, the reason for that is just to make sure that it's on a weekend when most people would be available.
That's fair.
And there's only 2 days of the weekend, right?
That's fair.
That's yeah. So like, I assume that's why. Like, imagine like if they have, you know, the US, the NA, and then the I almost said US, but no, it's not. It's just NA and Asia servers on Saturday, Sunday, and then EU is on a Monday, and people are like, bro, I got work. You know, that's kind of messed up.
That's fair.
That's why there's a week delay.
Right. It just looks because of that. And they're going to be adding more tournaments in the future, or more servers for the tournaments because of that. We're going to have it where what would have just been 1 week without any patches is now 2 weeks because it's on the 13th. But yeah, like I said, I get why they don't want to do it because of the tournament participants and that stuff. But
I mean, in my opinion, like, they should. I mean, look, I know it sounds like a silly thing to say, hire more people, but there should just be more people assigned to managing the tournament so that they could run multiple in the same day, instead of, oh, one day we have this tournament, the next day we have this tournament. What if you have 2 separate teams? And then there's the NA and Asia tournament on Saturday. Then the EU and SA tournament is on Sunday, right? And it's all in one weekend. That way you don't have to have as long of a period without a drop. And, you know, not to being like, Bandai is a $1 billion company, but like, I mean, I'm sure that they could get another. I mean, there's what, like 6 admins in the server for Squadra Blast. Like, I presume they could find another 6 people to help manage the tournament. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's more
Another
than
thing
that,
I was
but like,
gonna recommend as well is what would have been a better option in my opinion is have it where inside of the game, for people who are going to participate in the tournament, they get whatever the pre-patch is for that tournament, right? Like, but whatever, let's say that the season 2.1 patch notes, right? Like season 2.1 patch notes go live, but then tournament participants can go ahead and like use like a toggle in game to continue practicing and having to like find scrim partners at that point, but continue practicing and using those characters before the patch came out, right? And
does this mean if we're added to Dokkan, we'd be on that category?
the tournament participant category, yeah, we would.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, go on.
But yeah, like it would be nice if it was something like that, because I do know that some other games have it where like they'll use previous patches for tournaments because they don't want it to be something that's like entirely new for that tournament, right? Like they don't want it to just be where the people who are practicing before then would have to like switch off of whatever character if they were nerfed or buffed, right? But it just sucks. That being said though, if they are moving those like that time that they would have been using for the patches and putting in other areas of the game, I really hope that crashes is like the #1 priority that they're trying to fix right now, because like, man.
Well, I mean, medical respawn literally crashes the game half the time. Like
Yeah.
it's not nice. Like and I feel like sometimes when there's too many explosions and things like that all going around, it also causes the game to crash, but like very rarely. Like that's just the biggest issue when it comes to that. But especially medical respawn is like where we see the majority of it.
Right, because there were some people on the weekly feedback that I do that were saying that like Super Saiyan 3 Goku was another one who constantly crashed their game. There was someone who specifically was saying on the when they were playing on their phone and they were calling Zarbon back, that it would crash their game like that and only their game. And it's just like
that's
things
interesting
like that.
because those are the characters that were adjusted. Like I had Bojack crash my game, Super Saiyan 3 Goku's crashing that game, Zarbon is specifically got adjusted himself with Frieza. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's just a lot of crashing for this patch, I would say. Another thing that I would hope that they do talk about as well, if like I said, if we are able to just get other stuff prioritized while we're waiting on these patches, is the Star Collection. They did a really good job of making it where the amount of Zenny was increased, the amount of memory was increased. I still think it needs to be adjusted even more, because like once you get to level like 7, it's an insane amount, like 20,000 character memory for that. But on top of that, having like we were able to get the characters for tier 1, and then they were starting to slowly move down from that point onwards. I would hope that people who were like locked out of Bojack, because Bojack went from a tier 2 character to a tier 3 character down to a tier 4, and people who already got all their tier 4s, like I think that's like a clear oversight. Like that wasn't something that they were originally intending for it to happen, and then it happened, and then now people can only pay to get Bojack, you know. So that would probably be like my thing that I would hope that they change. And I don't know if they'll have it where they can do it in this time, but again, just like more stuff for people to get tier 1s, because going from like 31 all the way to tier 108, I believe it was, is too much. If they could just like add in an extra tier between like tier 60 or 70 would be a lot better, I feel like, because it's just like they do it where it's like 108 or 109 to get your next tier 1, and then right after that it's tier like 118 or tier 119 that you get your second tier 1. So they spam it right at the end, and it's just I feel like it's like I said, it's just an oversight on their end.
Yeah,
What do you
completely
think though?
agree. No, I mean, stuff like that is definitely an oversight, and that's why it's like, I think that, of course, with character patches and stuff like that, they will take time to, like, they have to get things approved and stuff like that. Like, that's just
Mm,
likely how that works from a business aspect. But we also need to consider, I'm trying to find the best way to explain it. These things are gonna keep driving players away, if they're not focused on, or at least there should be very quick statements made on it on Twitter. Like, even if it's just a communication, we are aware of this, we're working on a fix. There's no set time from when a fix will be in place, but we appreciate your patience. Acknowledgements of these things change a whole entire perspective, and it makes people feel like they're heard. We have the feedback system in place, and I'm sure people are continuing to leave feedback in regards to like these crashes and things like that. But I mean, I think now it's especially obvious that these crashes are taking place, and there's been so much feedback and statements left on it, that if they're not responding back to us regarding this, then it's going to make people like think, are they even aware of this issue? Are they even trying to fix this issue?
mhm.
Things like that, and it'll just ruin people's trust in just in general, when these are very clear things that happen. Maybe the Bojack Star Collection thing is not as obvious, but the game crashes, for example, um, they should at least have more communication on these things. I think that the dev letters are really good with what they tell us, but when it comes to these, like, they are more so telling us long-term plans for like these dev letters, rather than like, okay, they're like, this is enough communication, but there should be further communication on their social media platforms or inside the server itself, where they acknowledge these issues.
Right. Yeah, like Bananas was saying, when we go into the submitted feedback section and we just look at some of the feedback here, right? Like I don't even have to scroll way too much up, like maybe like 10 feedback submissions in order to get it. Oh yeah, by the way, medical respawn bug crashes the game. We just go ahead and upvote that real quick. But we don't have to really go up that much. And again, people are talking about the star collection system. The fact that we haven't gotten a season 1 character at star level after star level 31 is kind of crazy. It's genuinely sad for people who have already surpassed it. It doesn't even pay to win. Please make it so that people can claim them. Like, yeah, it's to have it where most people go past 31 and then they're like, oh, by the way, tier 1s can now be be acquired for all of the newer characters, but we're adding all of them. It's not just Super Saiyan 3 Goku, it's going to be Gotenks and Toppo as well. All of them are going to be added into the tier 1. When everyone's already past that point, like I feel like it's more than an oversight than anything, and we can probably just keep scrolling here, and we'd probably be able to find something along the lines of that, of like, oh yeah, we need to have it where it's like the star collection system needs to be changed. It's the whole reason why I made that video talking about it in the first place, because I don't think that it's yeah, like here, star collection system, the character and Zenny acquisition, the current star collection system is not well designed. It needs a full overwork or complete new method of obtaining characters and rewards. Progression feels inconsistent and unrewarding in its current state. Like hell, one of the top comments on that video that I talked about specifically, this again, another star collection comment, by the way, the star collection system was, I feel like I joined the game too early, and because of it I was punished. And that's a big feeling with a lot of these people, where it's like, yeah, a lot of people feel like, yeah, the more I play Gekishin Squadra, the more I'm punished for it, with the star collection system, with the fact that memory diminishes over time, with the fact that Zenny or like battle pass missions, that you don't get anything after you get to the end of the battle pass, but there's still like 4 weeks of the battle pass left, more often than not. That Zenny is extremely hard to acquire, even still right now. It is still a very difficult thing to get, with them increasing the bonus points for the missions from 10 to 30, you still need to do 32 games minimum on any role or technical, depending on whichever thing has the like mission point addition onto it, right? In order to just get it from that. And that's an absurd amount to ask for 500 Zenny, you know? Like it's crazy. And again, it's the reason why I say if you have a problem with this game and you really want to voice what you think should happen, always go to that submitted game feedback section, because it's the only way that the devs, unless you talk about it more like on their social media or anything like that, that's the only way that the devs can be able to see stuff like that. But yeah, like there's just like those are the major issues I would say, is just the game crashing and just that being a big thing that is just driving people away, like how you said. Those are like the two main issues of why people have stopped playing this game, I feel like, is the star collection system or the ability to get characters, I should say, and then also just the game crashing. Like those are the big two ones in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It just, I don't know. I just feel like at bare minimum, an adjustment like of this would fix so many people's like kind of frustration about it, and there's just really none. So that's a bit unfortunate. Now, when it comes to just everything else, while I do understand, you know, if we go back to the character balance changes specifically, that they're not doing it because they don't want people to kind of get hurt, or not hurt, but like more so. I'm trying to find a good wording for this. I'm not the best with words sometimes, honestly. I'm like on a roll, or I'm kind of like, but they don't want people to have their
get an advantage or a disadvantage, for the tournament.
Exactly.
I get it.
Like, most of like a lot of people would be at a disadvantage because these characters would be a lot different in certain situations, or if they got nerfed, that would really suck. I'm not sure if there's a way for them to just specifically like give players like player specific IDs, like the patch to play on the different version of the game again. I'm not sure how possible that is. I mean, it's not like impossible, I assume, but even if it was a thing like that, I think that'd be fine. I just think that we need to have consistency with when we receive patches, and a tournament like this should not be over 2 weekends as well, to kind of prevent that, is what I also said earlier. But hopefully we'll see some adjustments soon, because there's still a lot of imbalance, especially within the tank role. I think there's a lot of like imbalance on the best characters and the worst characters, and there's a pretty huge gap like between them.
Yeah, like if you just take Caulifla and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, for example, and you see like it's the whole reason why when I was making my tier list, I was so close to just making Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta be a tier above the like quote unquote best in role, because of just how dominant he is, right? Like Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla, for example, has it where she has like one broken thing about her, which is her provoked, right? Like she doesn't really deal too much damage. I've never been threatened by Caulifla's damage output, even with her landing like every single ability on you and using the ult. Only when the ult is maxed out do you even feel like a tick of damage from this character. But it's just her tanking ability. That's like her whole thing, is that she's able to tank so much damage. And then you look at Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and it's like he does everything. He has it where he's able to pull people in closer and like start interactions with that and group people up. He's able to stun them for 13 billion years with his second ability. He's able to block every single like beam attack with his wall and get extra health. So even if people are behind him, he still is able to live a lot of these interactions. And on top of that, he's able to push people back with that wall as well. And like if we just do a direct comparison, right? Compare Vegeta's barrier wall with Caulifla's energy release, whose ability only lasts for 1.5 seconds, between this guy's who's getting it for like 13,000 years. And you could still hurt Caulifla from things that are not energy attacks, but it's not like she gets any sort of defensive mechanic on top of that. It's just the applying a movement speed up to her. And it's just like, nope, Vegeta gets extra health. He's unstoppable, so you can't hit him out of it. He has it where, like how you said, he gets the extra HP. He's pushing people back with the barriers as well as the blocking energy attacks. Like, it's just so much stuff that he does that I feel like they overtuned him too much, you know? Like, there's a clear and obvious gap between the two best tanks in the game, and it's too wide of a gap, I would say. This is what people thought Super Saiyan 3 Goku was.
Yep, it is definitely too wide of a gap. I 100% agree with that. It's actually just kind of crazy about like what he's able to do in comparison to the other tanks. It is just so much, and hopefully there is kind of a fixed result for that, but we have to wait and see, honestly.
Yeah, like even the offensive, or I would say offensive tank, right? Cooler. Like, his Death Chaser has it where you need the retaliation active in order to then temporarily make it where the opponent cannot do any ability at all because you're slamming them into the floor, right? And even then, that is still not anywhere as close as Vegeta's kick. You have to get the retaliation active for it to even do that, or else you just move past them and then they just get like that damage. And it's just like, nope, Vegeta just does like fucking everything, man. He's the best defensively, he's the best offensively, he's the best everywhere. He's stupid. I hate this guy.
And the thing is that like his stun is larger, or his stun has more stun time than we saw in the kind of initial teaser for him when they revealed his gameplay. His stagger was only like 1.5 seconds, and now in game it's like 3 to 4 seconds. So for whatever reason it's different from the showcase than in game. So it's also a thing of like, I wonder if like the staggers in these showcases are just gonna be different than they look like in the actual game itself, because Vegeta's is so much longer. Or even if like there's no way that it was like an issue is what I'm hoping. But like something like that I feel like is pretty clear that it should not be as lengthy as it is, and hopefully that is changed at least for a future battle patch. I also would hope that, like, because of how long it's going to take for the next patch, which is probably going to be when Broly comes out, if I'm going to be completely honest, I expect the next patch to be like when Broly comes out on the 23rd.
Right.
Hopefully Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and if Ultimate Gohan needs to be adjusted, also him, both get adjusted to kind of fit the meta better.
Yeah, like I said, I would be completely fine with having no balance changes if other issues are looked at instead, right? Like, it was the whole reason why we're kind of talking about the star collection system and the ability to acquire heroes, as well as the crashes, right? But the adding on top of what you were talking about with the previews of the characters too, right? I feel like it's also just a thing of them not updating it when they eventually do release these characters, because Caulifla's energy release, for example, is still pre-patch, right? Like, this is only for 0.6 seconds like how it was before, versus how it is now where it's 1.5 seconds. So I think it's just that, like, once they record the video of the initial like kit overview, that they don't do any updates on how it is after that, you know? And I think that's also what happened with Vegeta as well. It was like, that was before when they were originally designing him, and then they just never adjusted it.
Well, I mean, they very clearly make changes last minute, is what I will say, to these kits, and they make these adjustments like right before releases, it seems like, because like, even though these videos are prepared ahead of time, I'm not sure how to ahead of time, and you could very easily tell, like, while it's in development, it was like the video had to be recorded close enough to where the change was not available at the time of the recording. And unless they did it like months ago, then, you know, I don't know.
Right.
So in my opinion, it feels like they made these changes more closer than it would be, honestly. So yeah,
I just hope that, because I said it when it was first Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well, is I don't mind them having like I don't believe that Gekishin Squadra is inherently pay to win, because a lot of these characters really do have something that sort of counters them, in a sense. Like Super Saiyan 3 Goku came out, but like if you were picking anyone who could be up close and personal, like Daima Goku, like Super Saiyan Goku, like a lot of these top options, then more often than not you can shut down Super Saiyan 3 Goku before he's able to do a lot of his like just insane stuff that he could do, right? But now this is like the first character where it's like, fuck, he actually might be paid to he actually is kind of pay to win. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you do not use this guy, you are at an inherent disadvantage. And there are some matches that genuinely could just come down to who has the better team with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on it. Like who's Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on that team is performing better. Because these mechanics are like just absurd and stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking, it's so crazy what Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is able to do compared to a lot of these other rosters. I want him nerfed to the ground. I want him to never be able to be playable again. I hate Super Saiyan. I hate Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Like it's that bad, man. It really is that bad. Because like what are you supposed to do to counter Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta? What character in the game is like, I got this, you don't even need to worry about it, dog? There's no one.
The thing about Vegeta is people are gonna say, "Oh, I beat Vegeta and I was cooler," or "beat Vegeta and I was Caulifla." Like that's cool, but like you can still beat the character with other characters. The point is that with Vegeta facing against other tanks, you can afford to make many more mistakes because you have so many extra better tools at your disposal that a good Vegeta doesn't even necessarily have to outplay a good cooler based on the mechanics alone. And a good Vegeta will likely always be able to outplay a good cooler unless that cooler is just straight up better or gets, obviously team fights, stuff like that come into consideration as well and your partners. But like Vegeta, for example, if he's faced into a situation, he has multiple ways to get out of it. He has his ultimate that can push enemies away. He has his barrier, which can push enemies away from even damaging him or obstructing him. Then he has his kick, which can stun people, give him time to retreat, and even restore some shield whilst he's retreating. So, like, he has so many of these options to get like a get out of jail free card almost, not even counting obviously the fact that he would of course have Manish. He would be very tanky in general. He has the most health out of any tank. He just is doing so much in team fights. Like it's just really that stagger. Honestly, like it wouldn't even be as big of a deal because you would still have to think about what you're doing with him if that stun wasn't so absurdly long.
Yeah, like how you were saying, you could literally kick someone with the wall and then use your barrier in order to protect yourself while running away. And if you're still being like pressured on top of that, then you just use your ultimate to just push people back. It's like, and then by that time you might have another one of those abilities up to do it, And even on top of that, right, he has so many of these like just small things about him that just aren't needed in my opinion. Like his barrier wall, if you re-enter it, shortens the cooldown of that skill, right? Your ultimate can be used to go ahead and cancel it as well. If you just re-enter it, it doesn't give you the cooldown back. But somebody like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, for example, right? One of the things we were just talking about of like, oh, well, you can do this and go around Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then now he's not as much of a big deal. There's nothing that he can do once he's using his Super Saiyan or Super Kamehameha. I believe you can use your Vanish in order to do it, but then you're kind of using your one and only defensive option other than his skill 2, but that's like pretty bad. But you're using your only other defensive option that you have available to you, And Vegeta just doesn't have to worry about that. He just clicks one button and he's not using that beam anymore. No one can walk around him because then, well, sorry, I'm using my kick now. Like it's so stupid. They really dropped the best character in this game and then said we're not adjusting him for a bare minimum 2 weeks. And then they didn't adjust him before they did this 2-week break, And it's kind of sad. It really is kind of sad.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate, man. This is becoming a Vegeta dislike hate video.
Yeah, fuck Vegeta. Am I right? Can I get one? Can you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys hate Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta? But no, before this video does turn into Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta hate, well, we can go ahead and stop here. But is there any other things you want to say before we go on and end the video?
No, subscribe to Mike. Mike's pretty good at content, and he'll continue to do so.
Thank you. But yeah, hope you guys all have a great issue week. I have to see you guys in the next one. Peace.
It's your boy Mike, and today we're going to be talking about some more Gekishin Squadra updates / speculation. I'm not alone here today. I have Minato's Flash with me. Hi.
Hi, I'm Minato's Flash.
I'm Mike. Fuck you, bitch.